Hey people, we are back, and this time it's something super soul conversation. Soul conversation.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Soul conversation. Let's not take some other title.
Trademark.
But heavily inspired by.
But you wouldn't mind being thrown into Oprah prison, would you?
I wouldn't mind.
Oprah, arrest me on charges of treason. I'll be your lifelong prisoner. That's him.
Yeah, but
So,
a great deal inspired by Oprah's Soulful Super Soul Sundays and this incredible book, Wisdom of Sundays by Oprah. So, yeah. So here we are.
Oprah. How does I always wonder? Like Oprah is this phenomena, right? And I mean, she's played such a huge role in all of our formative years, and we're from India, you know. And what does that even feel like? That butterfly effect. This lady in America has a talk show, and it's broadcast around the world, and people wait to catch her on YouTube now, and you know, we just. And then now we're talking about that's such a bizarre, discombobulating feeling, isn't it? I don't know.
Yeah.
I maybe because she's not discombobulated. I can't even say that word. I think that's why she's Oprah. It would discombobulate us. And that's why we are we.
Maybe we should try using
some words that I normally use so I don't get discombobulated.
Just use it good 4 times.
I know, I'm so sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
I got
So,
stuck.
we're going to start with just this thing. We just going to ask, just chat. Let's start with you.
Mhm.
What is that you have known, or what has changed? What is that you have changed, or you felt that has changed for you since the last time that we all met?
So the last time we met was last December when we met for Christmas, right? I think I just moved out of my house at that time, and I didn't really know where I was going. And then suddenly, the next thing I know, I'd moved to another city. And this is for someone who's lived at home for a very long time. And everything happens so fast. It feels like my life is changing every 3 months, and the next 3 months is about to happen. So I'm waiting to see what that's going to be like. And it's nice that I'm able to see that I'm in a space where I can take some time out for myself and figure out where I stand and where I want to go, even if I'm not completely clear about it in the moment. I'm still curious to find out what actually happens, and it's not as scary as it used to be, not knowing what's going to happen. And I think this holiday also has been very insightful. We've been spending so much time talking about what we've been going through, and it's so amazing to see that we're somewhat connected even though we're in different cities, and we still see that we're going through similar things, right? And it's nice to know that there's a tribe that I have, and then I can, you know, reach out whenever I want to, not worried about being judged by people. And it's given me a little bit of courage to sort of just expand and say, you know what, this is a risk I'm willing to take, because at the end of the day I'm important. So I feel that in terms of priority, I'm able to understand better that I am my priority, which didn't used to be so obvious to me before. So that feels really great, and I think it's quite a leap from where I was. So it's been a very nice journey, I must say. It hasn't been pleasant all the time, because most things that you learn about yourself don't always feel pleasant. But it is so worth it.
Yeah.
It really is.
What would happen to you if, let's say, the next 3 months is just a continuation of the last 3 months? Would you feel disappointed in yourself, in the universe?
No, I think it still gives me that space to understand something from a different point of view, even though because every day it feels like something is changing for me, and the pace may slow down a
Yes.
little bit, and that's okay. For whatever reason that's supposed to happen, and that's okay.
Is that something you've thought about?
I haven't, but there's a part of me that does feel like maybe it's a possibility,
Yes.
and it's still okay because now I have a certain idea of a goal, even if it's not like a solidified goal. And I feel like, okay, that's something I can still work with and find different areas where I can still figure out how to move forward from there.
Yeah.
Or still try to make peace with whatever is happening, even if it is not very different.
No, the reason I asked is because your life has been like on a 3-month cycle for the last year. So if this 3 months just suddenly stopped,
Yeah,
what
I think
what would it do to your insides?
I think it would unsettle me for a bit because I'm sort of I think because it's been happening, you're like looking forward to a change
Yes.
happening. I think it would unsettle me for a little bit, but I would still try to figure out what exactly is happening
Yes.
for that complete stop to happen, right? There has to be something that's stopped on the inside for it to actually not happen on the outside. So there's still always a learning lesson there.
But I think this 3 month has been just a very coincidental figure.
Yeah.
I think the journey.
I
has
think
just,
it's like 1 month for every year I've lived.
Probably. I think it's just what the you as a spiritual person and how the universe has been listening to you, and it's so happened that it's happening at a 3-month interval. Now the thing is, if there is going to be an undue pressure on this 3 months, then what has been happening so organically might become a bit artificial, and you want to change it just because it was happening,
for 3
just
months.
because there is this 3-month thing.
Goal, right?
Yeah. And instead, just leave it.
Yeah.
That's why I was very reassured when she said that. Sorry, we're talking about her behind her back, right in front of her face. But I was reassured when she said she has an idea of what her goal is. But I also want to clarify why did you say that everything that changes on the inside have to automatically manifest on the outside?
Because it happens. Because it actually happens.
Does it automatically change everything on the outside? I'm a bit confused simply because that hasn't been the case for me, Jharna. And are you setting yourself up for some
Failure?
disappointment?
Maybe that's something I have to give some thought to. But so far I have noticed that changes are happening.
Yes.
Like not in terms of my living environment, but in terms of people that I interact with.
Yes.
When I feel like I've sort of resolved something, I can immediately see that change in my external environment, at least when it comes to people I interact with.
Yes.
So even if it doesn't change over the 3 months, and like you said, don't put that pressure on yourself to change it every 3 months, it still feels different because I feel like a different person, and finally what I see on the outside is because of what is happening on the inside. So if I choose to see something pleasant, it's because some part of me has made peace with what didn't used to be the case before.
This I agree, but how I understood was if I change on the inside, automatically my environment morphs into something. I move into a different house.
Yeah, I suppose I didn't articulate it properly.
So that's how I understood, and that's another. At least in the start of my spiritual journey, I thought that's what, and I was constantly in a frenzy that I thought, oh, this has changed. Where is this new friend who's supposed to appear in my life? Where is this new job that's supposed to materialize? Where is this new experience? And I became more of, I'm going to do this. I was bargaining. I have to do this in order to get that. And it was always result oriented, goal oriented, and it was always destination focused, and it was not based on the journey. And I through a lot of disappointment, and I wish life didn't work in a way where you learn your hard lessons through disappointment.
That's a very good point that you made, because
I make all my points are good. One of the good points I made, you may carry on.
Okay.
Sorry.
So when people, I think, are into this spiritual discovery, and then I have been in that zone as well. Like, I feel, okay, now I'm doing something, now I'm like changing, and now I'm doing this spiritual transformation and, you know, questioning myself and my reality and everything. So I feel like now that I'm doing it and I'm getting some clarity, so suddenly everything should materialize and everything should become crystal clear around me, and all the best people should appear and everything should be so great.
Yes.
But the destiny and the journey and the destiny is me, and me, I am here, right?
Yeah.
So the spiritual journey is a journey for me, for my transformation. And for me, I am transforming, but I'm expecting some new people to appear. What kind of transformation is that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's becoming a bit difficult for me to, and now, but it is finally I'm able to see it, like the end, the destination, this journey is me. The end thing is also going to be me.
Oh my gosh, I got goosebumps in my liver. Yeah, I love it.
and if you're on this journey and people with similar destinations in mind will just join you, I think. Like you and both of you.
We've been friends for a decade. Yes.
So we just join each other,
Yes.
and that's what I feel. And I like what you said, that I feel like I am important right now. That's very good, because I think so much about so many things about me, but am I important? I have not thought that much. Am I important? Am I important? I think so many other things for me, but that's a very good point that you made, and I'm just going to hold on to it. I am important. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think at the end of the day, we're here only to figure out who we are, right? And that's how your relationships with other people improve. And if you don't really have a good relationship with yourself, where exactly do you begin?
Yeah.
And why should you have a relationship with yourself if you're not important?
Correct. Yeah.
The fact that you started a spiritual journey is in itself that you are important enough to know. I would not want to know anything that's not important for me. So the fact that we spend as much time as we do with ourselves is a proof that we aren't important.
But sometimes it's just so important that somebody just articulates it in some simple sentence, like you just said. Or there are people like Oprah and Brené Brown who do that.
He's fishing.
And they just say it, and it just helps, I think, if to just cling to that.
And also when somebody says it and you're thinking it but you don't know how to say it, it just becomes easier.
It just is incredible. You just feel validated, and it's very important for us as human beings to feel validated, I think. We are here on this planet. We are here as human beings because we are human beings because we want to be validated. And so many times this validation is always that external validation that we are seeking, we are wanting. But this validation that we owe to our own selves, you know, I'm validated because I am important.
See, exactly. That was exactly what I was thinking. You need the validation of being important.
Yeah.
Don't we? Yeah. What if you're not important? What if you don't need to be important at all, and yet you are the focus of who you need to be?
Yeah.
But in the start of the journey, it should never be there.
Yeah.
Because I'm not there. I need to know that I'm important, and I need to put my focus on me, because it is a learned behavior. It's not something that comes easy to me. It's easier for me to forget about myself and put other people in focus rather than myself. So I need to, if I put you as important, for me to say I am important and turn the focus around to myself. And then slowly I don't need the validation of this adjective. Important, beautiful, successful, necessary, vital. I don't need it. I'm here. So every one of those adjectives go without saying. The universe saw it fit to have me here. I'm not, there wasn't a conveyor belt producing a ton of Edels. I'm the only one. I'm the only prototype, as are you. So we are absolutely vitally important, and that's enough. Right? We'll get there, but in order to get there, it's always good to focus the adjectives that we put on other people into us.
Yes, for once, and
Full
see
stop.
how that
Slowly, yes, baby steps.
Yeah, and we'll get there where we don't need the adjectives.
Yeah, because this need for validation is a slippery slope. It is a slippery slope, because then I think this need for validation is one of the primary reasons for manipulation. And manipulation can come in the form of good manners, can come in the form of polite behavior, can come in the form of flattery and praise. Kindness, yes. So my validation is almost a barter system. I'm going to validate you, you validate me. So I'm going to validate myself so that I can live in this bubble of self-importance. And the goal of spiritual journey is freedom and alignment. And you're free only because you're aligned with the universe, aligned with our body, aligned with our spirit, our soul, the universe, and we are part of a larger circle for a greater purpose that's bigger than us. And in fulfilling our destiny, automatically we fill in the piece of a greater tapestry, and I'm only a thread there. And I am working, and there is a greater intelligence at work. So when I align with myself, which is all I can do, I am cooperating with a power that is so much bigger than what my human brain can understand, and trusting in this greater universe without knowing anything, and knowing that I will find my tribe, I will find my fellow threads, and I will form a pattern in the end, and we all made sense in the end. And I think there is a beautiful verse in the Bible that I constantly think back to. The kingdom of God belongs to such as these, and Jesus points at children. And I've always thought children are such assholes, because all my childhood I was an asshole, followed by children being assholes to me. And today when we were having breakfast, there were screaming children around, and I thought, assholes. But to be honest, what they mean is children are giving the power of having them be clothed, having them been taken around. So that kind of a relationship with the universe, right? So I trust you to do your bit, and I'm going to do my very, very small microscopic bit, which is align myself. And in my alignment, we're going to be working in some cosmic, incredible communion, and some amazing thing is going to happen, which I probably will not be able to see from this point, right? But once I die and join with Source, from there I'd have a good vantage point to see what a unique place in history I had to fill. And I like what you said, the time as a linear construct is very man-made, and it's very, very primitive. Time is actually circular, and I always tell you that time is a soup. So we can always fold time, go back in our history, do inner child work, and integrate so much, because we're all existing in the now, right? So when we are changing our environment, it's actually like going in spirals and spirals and spirals, deeper and deeper and deeper into the core of who we are, right? So that's what we are spending time with. In the end of our journey is not like that, but it's inside, and the end of the journey is who we really are. So yeah.
So the same question to you.
Yes.
Like, what has changed since the last time that you met?
Something has become very, very clear. Is strangely, this is something I wouldn't have thought in a million years, that my body is important. I always thought of coming from a very, very militant Catholic background and being, in my own way, a practicing Christian. I've seen verses like, the spirit is willing but the flesh is weak, a thorn on the side, and then Jesus fasting for 40 days, which just literally meant he didn't care about the body, or that he had a bomb figure probably at the end of 40 days of fasting. He had 0% body fat. Oh, I'm so shitty. So I always thought my body as unimportant, and I put it down constantly, which is so ironic because I'm a doctor and I repair the body, and I had zero respect for it, and I would abuse it in many, many ways, and always like wait with this was my face when I talked to my body, which was like, okay, now are you sorted? Can we go on, please? And this is the kind of that arrogance. My spirituality and my spirit, my mind, and my emotions were much faster than my body, and I always felt my body was slowing me down, and I had zero respect for it. And if at all I paid attention, it was on, damn the cellulite, damn I have no thigh gap, shit I have a belly, and what the fuck is this stretch mark, and oh my god, my hair is not behaving. So it was always an abusive relationship I had with my body. And I always said, if you only look like Bella Hadid doesn't look like Bella Hadid, by the way. So that was a bad example. So if you only look like that, it would be easy for me to love you. And I cannot believe for 4 decades almost, that was my relationship with my body. I had nothing but hatred, contempt, sadness, depression associated with my body. And this is the thing with the body, right? It's a dense vibration, and it records. And then we live from the body. Like, for instance, we've come into this resort, and my brain doesn't know the direction, but my body does. And my body is driving the car. And I'm like, ooh, I just know where the car needs to go. And my brain is sitting there going flummoxed, like, uh-oh, don't ask me. I don't know. I don't have a clue. My body knows. So my body is recording survival techniques, and it was so sad for me that my body needed to survive from me. My body needed to survive from my abusive talk, and I would never even consider my body as part of me. But now I'm learning the language of my body, which is surprisingly, I thought intuition is the language of my emotions and my mind and my spirit, but it's not. It is, intuition is the communion between spirit and my body. Intuition completely bypasses emotion and logic. And I am a very logical, extremely emotionally intelligent person. I wouldn't say empathetic for the most part, because empathy requires for emotions to be married intensely with your body, and I have a gap there. So, but my mind and my emotions are very, very close. So I have emotional intelligence, great problem solving skills. I have a mind that is very far reaching and very quick to grasp concepts, but I lack empathy for the most part because my emotions and my body has a gap. My mind is very, very close to my spirit, and if immediately I get some connection to my spirit world, my mind, boom, expands, and it's like a drug, and I can sit in that sense of bliss for a very long time, and my emotions catch up because they like that bliss. So my spirit, mind, and my spirituality are this clique, and we bully my body a lot. But my spirit has always been exceptionally kind to my body. And I always wondered why I never have intuition. I constantly, if something tells me something is wrong, I never listen to it because it doesn't make logical sense, and my emotions are not connected to my body. And I don't feel the intuition. So I'm very discombobulated. So
that's a very, very interesting point about how you feel that intuition.
Yes.
You need to be connected to your body to feel the intuition, and that's very interesting actually.
And the thing is, intuition doesn't need to be felt, right? It's such an undeniable, arrogant. Oh, I love the arrogance of intuition. Like,
I am
what are you going to argue? This is it. And my body knows it, and my body wants to respond to it, but instead I eat a cake to quell something that is I'm feeling, but I don't understand, because I don't understand the language, because I hate my body and the way it appears, because Bella Hadid looks a certain way, and I don't know why I have Bella Hadid. Give me another name.
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift. Oh, but I love her. Oh my God, I love Taylor Swift. No, I'm a
She's
Tay-Tay.
okay.
Hi, I'm a Swiftie. Okay, so, but this is the thing, right? So because I hated my body, and that's the weird thing. The same Bible that told all this also confused me with, you are the temple of the living God, and you don't pour the Spirit into, the pot becomes more valuable because of its contents. So if my contents are my mind, my emotion, and my spirit, then the pot becomes automatically valuable, right? And I never got it, and I didn't understand what it was. And I always did the bare minimum, and I, like I said, was so abusive to my body, because I thought it was slowing me down, and it was, I just didn't like it. And I thought the easiest way, like everybody does, if it only looked different, I would like it better. So I was very abusive. So this is the body, this is my destiny, right? This is my body. But instead I lived with, this is all I have. This is what I've been handed. I've been given the short straw, or, this is I have to make do. I never lived with, before I came into this world, I chose this body. I chose this time and space. I chose my parents. I chose my race. I chose my destiny. And I did not, for some reason, I think that's a mistake. I should live this way. I should live somewhere else. I should be something else. I should do something else. And the only thing stopping is my stupid body, And but now I'm beginning. This is what has changed since the last time we met, which is in April, actually, right? You and we met in April, but the three of us together met in December. What has changed is I have finally chosen my thighs. I have finally chosen my lack of thigh gap. Woohoo! I've finally chosen my stretch marks. Now, I'm not a victim of them anymore. I look at them and I think, I chose this. It doesn't matter, because most of our choices are unconscious, right? All our choices are coming from the subconscious. They're not coming from the conscious mind. So I'm choosing. So clearly I'm choosing this. This is my choice. And I am living discombobulatedly. If I think, don't roll your eyes at me, people. I can see from my peripheral vision. Damn it. So it was such a fucking mind job. Fucking mind job. It's thinking that I am something else and not this is a fucking mind job. But
So,
this
yeah.
is it. This is my real estate. There is nothing outside more important, and to live inside of this is the greatest adventure. And I'm moving into, it's like wearing this catsuit, right? And fitting into my body. And I'm listening to intuition for the first time. It was so funny. I'm double guessing intuition. I wake up and I'm like, this can't be intuition. And intuition does not argue with you, which is so strange, because I'm so used to double guessing, arguing, coming up with pros and cons.
Like the intuition.
You just know that you know.
It's like a verdict pass.
It's an impression. It's
Yeah.
not a word. It's not a language. It's not. It's an impression.
And you just can't change it.
Yes.
You just can't change
Sometimes
it.
you wonder where that even came from.
Yeah, why am I feeling it?
And I know that my spiritual journey started as an escape from my body. If I made myself spiritually, intellectually, emotionally attractive, people can maybe not look at my body and love me for my mind. It doesn't happen. That just doesn't happen. There's a verse in the Bible that says, you know, like God looks at your heart, but man looks at appearance. So what am I thinking? That God is going to appear. You know? So being at peace with your body has been like, I'm just beginning, and it's and when I move my hands, which I do a lot, I gesture a lot when I talk, I am feeling it, and I love it. But no, I don't love it. It's a new experience.
Yeah, because sometimes when I move my body, I feel like, what are my hands and legs doing? Like, I don't know where they
I
are.
don't know what to do with my hands and
I've
legs.
been following my hands. I'm like, all these people have been telling me, why do stop moving. It's probably my spirit, my soul is trying to move along with my body, which like everybody is moving.
Yeah. So I always, like, the company I kept, the jobs I did was, my body just felt bad. I used to fall sick. I would not keep up time because my body was dragging itself because it didn't want to go there, you know, and I was forcing it. I hung out with people that were just bad for my spirit. I would get painful periods when I'm with bad people, right? And my body is not supposed to pain. I'm designed as a woman. I'm designed to have periods every month. Why should it hurt me? That doesn't make a lot of sense. But if it hurts, then I need to know why it hurts and I need to sort it out. And invariably, it is the company I'm keeping. I have panic attacks and anxiety I feel, and anxiety is in the body. My heart is beating faster than it has to, and I can feel my heartbeats in my ear and in the back of my eye, and I have longer exhalations, and my tummy is clenched, my hands are clammy.
It's like you're waiting for a combat to happen, right?
And I still stayed in the situations that made me feel that way. And I kept doing that for what? Right? So my body has an intelligence and an access to spirit that my mind and my emotions can't understand. And for the first time, I'm understanding spirituality is loving my body. That I am the God that I can see. And every time I look in the mirror, I'm looking at God. And to me, that is a bizarre experience. And I always tell God, you have fat thighs. You know, like, God, I'm not particularly liking your thighs right now. I don't know why I'm stuck on thighs, but but my thighs are my issue, right? So, and it's okay. But clearly I want those thighs, right?
Bella Hadid.
She doesn't have no thighs.
Beyonce.
She got some thighs. So, yeah, I am the God that I can see.
Right.
So that has been the start of this new adventure that I am in right now since April, and definitely since December. Yeah.
And
what has been new in your life? What has become clearer to you since the last time we met?
okay, so I would say an awareness. For me, I think, developed an awareness about my existence. Previously, I wasn't aware. I was just doing things. And now I'm aware of my body, aware of a mind, and aware of a soul. And I know so many things were going askew because I think I was not trying to align all of that. I was not aware. I was just thinking. I was not aware of these entities. Everything is one. Ultimately, it is one.
Yes.
It is.
Yes. At
But
the state we are in, we are calling them, because we are all
But
discombobulated.
yeah, it's
I was going to say.
Okay.
the body is here, the mind is elsewhere, the soul is somewhere else, and there was no awareness about all of it. for me. And now I know.
So you were unaware of your emotions.
I'm just a very sensitive person
Are you
To
saying
other people's
sensitive?
emotions.
to other people's emotions. I'm a very sensitive person. I am developing an emotional intelligence towards my own self just right now.
Was the sensitivity a survival technique, or
To an extent. If I am being sensitive, there is less bullying towards me.
so that's why you were sensitive. You needed to be sensitive, right?
And there is, if I am being sensitive, there will be people who will pick on me a little less.
Yes.
Because they know, oh, he's so sensitive guy.
Yeah.
He may start crying any moment. You know?
So that was a survival tactic. It's just like calluses that develop on our legs simply because we run a lot. So it's not. It was just something that you developed to survive, but you were not aware. You thought that was your.
That I thought,
You thought that was part
because
of who
I am sensitive. I thought I am emotional and I am empathetic,
See, you're not.
which I'm not, because I don't feel empathy randomly. I don't feel.
Nobody should actually.
Yeah, I don't feel that.
Yeah.
I don't feel a lot of things for a lot of people around me, even if they are in dire distress. I can completely switch off, but I still used to call myself as a very emotional person and a very sensitive person. And irony is not looking at my own emotions and whether I needed that sensitivity back at me. All this is projected to the world, but not knowing, not being sensitive to my own
Requirements, your needs.
my needs, my requirements. So the thing is not being aware. I was not aware. I was taking some things off. Most of the times, the terminologies people use to describe me. Oh, that person is saying maybe I'm like that. You know, so I clung on to one of the words is sensitive, and
It sounds nice, doesn't it?
it always sounds nice.
The opposite is asshole. So
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, nobody wants to be an asshole like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so this awareness about of my mind, body, spirit.
Were you even aware of those terminologies?
I knew all of that. Like I knew the soul. I knew about the spirit. I knew about the body. And I just said, "Oh my God, what the hell? It's all there. This is me. This is me. You know." And
Did you think that unsuccessful loser type people were the ones who were concerned with stuff like that? But you're a successful doctor.
Not like
No?
that. I didn't think like that. But I thought that this is all mind, body, soul is all from me. So of course they are in me, and of course they are inside me, and of course this is where it is.
Yeah.
But didn't have the awareness that when I actually didn't have the awareness that they are all sitting in different rooms.
Oh yeah.
You know, and with the doors closed, not talking to each other.
Wow, that's a frightening picture.
Yeah, and now the doors, I'm opening the doors, inviting them in, and we are all having a conversation. You know, because you just need to. Then the alignment, I'm like always wondering, oh, I'm going to be aligned. How am I going to be aligned if all are in different rooms? So this is the awareness I have developed. Awareness, and it's a step. Now I know. Without knowing, trying to be knowledgeable is a bit of a fucking bullshit.
This is the question I was about to ask. I mean, the truth is, there's spirit. There is, in a completely unaware person, they have spirit, they have soul, they have a mind, and they have a body, right? We have it too. No difference. So why does knowledge of that, how does that change it? Why can't we live in unawareness and alignment as opposed to
I have lived in unawareness and trying to get aligned. Unaware.
Why is unawareness not good? Is the question I'm trying to ask. You've come into awareness. Why is awareness good and why
because
is
if you're not aware about these things about yourself, you will or what I did was I will pick on what the others are telling me and make it my own story.
Yeah.
And make it my own truth. I can only if I'm aware will I know okay what the other person is telling, whether it's truthful for me or not.
Yeah.
If I'm not aware, I'm just going to go, oh yeah, okay. So forever I used to call myself I'm a very sensitive person. And this is the term which everybody else has used. You know,
Yes.
so I think for me, I think you need to be aware. Only will you be then able to know. And then if something is coming at you, pick the right things you will be able to pick and choose, or just know what it is about you.
Why is awareness important?
Because it
Why can't you
leads-
just do what you need to do?
Mm.
And you have all the elements.
Mm.
Why isn't that alignment? Why is awareness needed?
That's where I know where I stop and where someone else begins. Because if I'm not aware, like Abhi was saying, boundaries are very difficult to set when you're not aware, right? You take on other people's what they think is supposed to be my boundary, and then it's like there was this video of Iamla Van Zandt I was
I
watching.
love her.
We love her.
Oh yes, she's amazing.
Yes.
So
Oh,
she-
by the way, your cameo in Girls Trip. Oh,
It was so good. We loved that movie.
Yeah.
So she talks about how boundaries are important, and when she says you draw a line and then somebody steps on you, you step back, erase that line, and then you draw one more. So what is that?
That's not a boundary. That's just a line in the sand. Yeah.
And then finally you get backed into a corner, right? And then you'll have to make a decision from a space where you have to combat someone. It's not an actual choice of making a decision because it feels right for you. It's more like you're trying to escape that space.
Yes.
And it's so important to be aware simply because you have that space to understand yourself, and then you are able to understand what someone else is trying to tell you, exactly the same thing that you mentioned. If that awareness is not there, I feel like for me, I will spend the rest of my life looking for something that's already there, and I have no idea.
It's like buying a plot of land with a treasure hidden under and living a pauper's life on top.
And using words, using other people's definition for our own self.
Oh, you know what? This person thinks I'm very smart, so I must be smart,
Yes.
whether or not it's actually true for me.
Yeah, and I not being aware. I wasn't aware about it. So that's what I always have clung to people telling me good things about me.
And the ones who are not saying good things, you don't want them
You
anywhere
don't
close
want
to
them
you.
because, of course, they hate me. They are not my.
But it's not like I compliment you all the time.
Yes.
I'm not a very comfortable friend to have. Am I?
No, but when when we started our friendship, I think to an extent we were all going together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were trying to find something, I was trying to find my bearings,
Yeah.
and I think we just started like that.
Yeah.
So because I think we just connected as a soul tribe
Yeah.
since then. So we just started, and I think
I think the momentum just sort of
Yeah.
picks
Sometimes
up
the
after
momentum-
some time.
because we all know, I think, whether we had the wisdom then or not, the destination for each of us was our own self at that time, even when we started our
Yeah, but
friendship.
we had no clue.
But we had no clue about
Yes.
it. But I think our soul knew about it. Our
That's true,
soul
yeah.
knew. The souls connected. Our souls knew, and that's why we stuck on.
Yeah.
We're here after so many years.
Yeah. And
You know, the interesting concept. When Jharna and I we started this, we did this yoga course in this beautiful yogashala where our teacher told us about this concept of being kaivalyan, and that was very, very attractive to me because I felt I was a ricocheting bullet. So something would happen to me and I would react in such a way which would cause another reaction for which I would come in, and then I didn't know what was going. So I felt connected by a lot of invisible spider webs. Your mood would affect me and I would resent you for that. I would depend on you for my happiness and I would fucking hate you for that because I can't be happy by myself. And all you need to do is snap the spider's web and I'm let loose, and that ending is looking for somebody sticky to attach itself to. So I was attached and I was vibrating and I didn't know how or where my next dose of peace was going to come from, and I was not in control. And my mind was connected to so many people. My heart and emotions were connected to so many other people. My body was connected to so many other activities. And I was in different pieces. If you've seen the movie The Cell, I don't know, it's a Jennifer Lopez film. It's one of the most amazing films ever made. So if you have a chance, please watch it. And it is about the secrets of the mind. And there are so many, I just felt discombobulated. Oh my God, that word has so many layers, I'm telling you. So in some way or the other, I knew I was not my own person. Number one, in going in search, and Kaivalyan, the concept of Kaivalyan is being your own autonomous person, being your own battery, being your own energy person, being your own Wolverine. You get, the world can hit you, you can heal yourself, and you can rise up again. And you can only do that if I went on almost a scavenger hunt to find out what my mind is. Somebody says, oh, this is a great author, and I would just dive in and read it because my mind needed something. I didn't have a taste for my mind. I didn't know what my mind's purpose on this earth was, which was to hone its own taste. So I had to go on a scavenger hunt of my mind, which is following its desires. And the easiest avenue for me to find my own self and the awareness of what my mind is, who my mind is, what she wants, is to following my mind's desires, because I was trapped in a home which was abusive, where I was not allowed to express my emotions, or my body was also not mine because I had rules to live under. But my mind could be free, my imagination could be free, and I let her be her own, find what feels good for her. And she likes some random crazy shit, and she has a crazy way of stitching in patterns and telling me stories. And I have to tell you, I fell in love with my mind because my mind kept me sane, because I could escape with my mind, and my mind is my highest vibration. And after my mind, because my mind is so strong, and she is, oh fuck, she's a warrior. So my emotions could follow her. My emotions could tell her, oh, I like this, this feels good, let's do more of this. And my mind encouraged her, and she was not judgmental about her like the people that surrounded me in my life were, right? So my mind and my emotions became very good friends, and I could live the secret life inside a body that just didn't match up with my mind and my emotions. And again, but at least I had aligned my mind and my emotions outside of my body. And so I was roaming around this earth with a body that was anchored in one place at a time, but my emotions and my mind were elsewhere. And I could go very, very far away, and my body could be here. And then I would meet somebody and I would possess them because they represented something, and I could get attached to that person, and I'd need them in my life. And even though technically, and this is called grounding, this is why we need grounding in our life, right? Because we could possess people. So my body was empty, and my body would go and attach itself to somebody who made it feel something familiar, which may not be the healthiest thing it's known, because my body's only known unhealthy shit and bad people who created bad emotions in it and bad chemical reactions in it, and that's familiar. My mind and my emotions knew what healthy things and healthy things for them were. My body was left uneducated, so it would go and attach itself to somebody, and then even though my mind and my emotions could completely disengage from that person, and I would go away and I could say, oh, this person is not good, you know what, and come away. And my body would follow very, very uncomfortably and sadly away from the person, because the majority vote, right? It's a democracy, it's majority vote. And my body would grieve and suffer and hurt and pain and have anxiety. And my mind and my emotions would be like, oh, buck up, you know, crybaby face, you know? And this cruelty continued. And now slowly I'm I'm understanding my body, understanding the notions of my body. And while my soul and when I say soul, I mean emotions actually, my emotions and my mind are slowly descending into my body, because my body is learning to trust me. And if I didn't learn who I was, I will download other people's emotions, download other people's minds. Right? We will get possessed by other people, and that's why we get addicted to other people. That's not really love, that's some kind of possession, and it's kind of attachment. I don't understand much about ghosts and spirits and demons and all of that stuff, but I do know we get possessed by other people, and this is the reason why. If we are empty, we'll fill ourselves with other people, and that's why we need to know us. If I didn't know my address, I could live in anybody's house, right? And then I'll get thrown into prison, right? So awareness is knowing my bits. So I collect my bits from wherever they are scattered, and only my bits fit me, and I become me, and I snap out all the connections, all the spider webs that connected and controlled me. I snap it all out, and I'm a free agent. I will not react anymore. Reaction is survival. And you cannot create from a place of survival. You can survive from a place of survival. Yeah. We all have come here to create and to expand the universe. And expansion cannot come from a place of survival. That's why I personally feel I need to be aware, because otherwise I'll just collect pieces I'll be a collage of different people.
Yeah, that's what I have been doing. And one thing about awareness is, because now I have been aware about my issues, my anxiety, just knowing I've lived with anxiety for over 35 years of my life, and now I know that I know it's anxiety is not going to go off, and something which I've been treating as my enemy I'm treating anxiety as my friend. And it was always not wanting to think about something which is, the elephant is in the room, but not wanting to look at it, trying to be some sort of really blind to not there, this is not an issue. And all my life, lot of issues I've dealt with, but now there is this awareness about, okay, I'm at least rising up to acknowledge and be aware of my issues, and developing the courage to go back and look for answers. I know they're going to be so unsettling, you know.
See, that's the thing, right? There is no guarantee for a flattering answer.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Yeah. Because in one of our conversations, because I considered myself a perfectionist, I am not. I've had starting problems with many things. I wouldn't start something because I can't do it perfectly, and somehow I owed it to myself to be perfect, right? And Abhi, in one of our conversations, said, you're imperfect, perfection ain't gonna come out of you, so do things imperfectly. I mean, he said it by himself, like he said that I'm imperfect and I'm expecting perfection out of me, and that's just cruelty. And I understood. Perfection, imperfection are adjectives that came to life because I compared myself to somebody else unfavorably, so that I could remain stuck with spider webs all over the place.
Spider webs, yeah. And we are almost 54 minutes, so quickly wrapping it up. One last thing, which is quickly, what do you how do you see yourself from here on?
The next time we meet.
Not next
Yeah.
time we meet, but
Yeah.
just what is the vision?
What is your vision? Yeah, that's a good question.
What is your vision?
It's discombobulating, this question.
She's so excited about the work.
We're going to wrap it up but because it's already 55 minutes.
Yeah, okay.
So just quickly.
What
what's
is
the
your vision?
I think I may need a little time with this. You go ahead.
Yeah.
Alignment. And there is no, I'm not destination oriented anymore because the ride feels joyful now. So I'm comfortable and I'm comfortable now. So alignment, I'm comfortable and just expressing my alignment and watching the pieces fall together.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, that's quite close to. I mean,
Don't copy my answer, come up with your own.
sometimes you just say it better.
I don't care. Say something different. Don't steal my thunder.
Maybe Warner Brothers will reach out to us at some point. Maybe that's the vision.
Warner Brothers movies, yes.
Warner Brothers.
Yeah, I think for me, since
Oprah before Warner Brothers though. Okay.
Oh dear God.
Oprah.
He wants Oprah. Just reach out to him. Throw him a
Yes,
bone.
please.
Just reach out to him.
I think for me, because I've just begun to put myself, or at least I'm trying to put myself first. I don't always do that. Maybe look for more avenues for that to happen, you know, and at least try to understand when it doesn't happen, so I can find a way for it to happen, like for me to make it happen. And just I want to be there for myself. Like I've never done that before. And
Oh, God, that's-
and yeah, it's very sad to admit something like that,
Yeah,
but
it is. Yeah.
it's the few times that I have done it in the past year, it feels so good, and it makes me realize that there's a lot of stuff that I've probably missed out on, but it's really not too late, right? Because the rest of my life is for this. So just figure out whatever that doesn't. I mean, not everything that we learn about ourselves is going to be pleasant, but I want to be able to make peace with those aspects.
Right.
What's your vision for your future?
My vision is that I am going to be living. I'm just going to be living a very wholesome life with my imperfections. I'm ready to move on being imperfect. I'm ready with that. I'm ready being imperfect. I wasn't till so far. I just had to be perfect with everything. But imperfection is beautiful. So yeah.
Ikigai. Yes,
I think in Japan, I was reading it somewhere that when
Ikigai.
something breaks, they seal it back together with gold, and that gold is what makes that broken artifact beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes. The more broken, the more valuable.
Yeah, so,
And the more repaired with gold, the more beautiful, yeah.
so that's my vision, and yeah. So we are almost there.
Oprah, please reach out to Abhi.
Thank
Yes,
you,
please.
thank you, Edel, thank you, Jharna.
Yes.
This
Thank
was
you so
such an incredible conversation,
Yeah.
and
You're welcome, and it's a
and
pleasure.
to everybody out there, just what you're doing in your journeys is absolutely amazing, I think, and thank you, Oprah. I love you.
And
He
if you
really
feel-
does.
And if you feel discombobulated, know that you're not alone.
Oh gosh.
All right, bye bye. Take care. Love you all.
Bye.
Bye.